So now I'm back kind of on all the platforms, TikTok, YouTube, and then we're also filming and recording on our Patreon community and platform. Patreon, you guys are able to see my screen, and I'm gonna share my screen with you. We'll do a little more private intimacy on Patreon that we won't do everywhere else, right? So we'll just go ahead and get started this evening with the topic at hand, and then we'll finish the class and session on Patreon with the Patreon community. All right. Um, Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. It is Wednesday. It's hump day. It's a lot going on. I'm tired. But we're here. Tonight's for class and session. Tonight we are talking about business entities, choosing business entities, why you set up an LLC, why you set up a corporation, a non-for-profit, things like that. So we are on we are on three platforms right now. We're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, and we're on, let me just take my Wi-Fi off of TikTok because I just think that my internet is going out right now. Really, really bad. YouTube, it's been a while since I've been on to talk to you guys like at all. So YouTube people haven't seen me in a while probably. So hello, YouTubers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's been a while for sure. And Patreon family and community. Hello, hey Mecca. How are you this evening? Okay. All right, and you can hear me clearly. Okay, cool. And again, thank you for letting me know that, because it has been some kind of background stuff with my internet. So I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me. If at any point, Mecca, I go out and you're on, just let me know. All right. So tonight's topic at hand, we are talking about choosing a business entity. All right. Hey, DeAndre. Choosing a business entity. Many of you guys set up these companies. Sometimes you just automatically register an LLC. Sometimes you just automatically register as a corporation. Sometimes you may or may not do a non-for-profit. Sometimes you guys may be in a partnership. So tonight I kind of just wanted to go over a little bit of information when it comes to choosing a business entity, because really it's something that you should be really thinking about before you just go ahead and set it up. TikTok family, can you guys let me know if you can hear me properly and see me properly? Can somebody give me a thumbs up or something? Say yes, something. Because I've been on here twice and we're not really getting to what we're supposed to normally be at. So if you guys, I think my connection is really, really bad. It keeps saying that it's going in and out. So I don't know if you guys could hear me clearly. I'm going in and out. You can't hear me. You see me. So if somebody could let me know, that'd be great. So the rest of the world, for those of you guys that can't hear me and see me clearly, like I said, just let me know if I go out so that way I can know. At this particular point, we're just getting started. Hey, Muriel on YouTube. So let's just go straight into it. I think the biggest, most popular one that I see many people start is an LLC, right? So what is an LLC? An LLC is a limited liability company, okay? So also the way that I'm talking to you guys as far as what these business structures and, what they are, I'm also looking directly on the IRS site because, again, I'm a tax and business strategist. And so when I talk to you from the level of being a business owner, but also thinking about your finances, your taxes, your strategy, things like that, right? So when you're dealing with these companies and you're starting these businesses, you got to kind of know upfront what your reason is. What is the reason you're starting this business? What is your long-term goal? Like if you see yourself being a major corporation and being on the stock market, on the stock exchange, selling shares and, offering different stock options and things like that to your clients. If you're looking to bring on more than 100 shareholders and you're looking to have like this big conglomerate business, you are not you are not an LLC, right? That's more of a corporation. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes you guys set up an LLC and none of that is you're not going to do none of that with an LLC, right? So with a corporation, you're able to offer stock options, right? You're able to have a board of directors and board members and things like that, right? So if you're looking to take annual meeting minutes, annual trips, you want to have annual meeting minutes that go over, different topics of discussion about the business, right? All of that is a part of the business entity setup because you're not doing none of that with an LLC. You see what I'm saying? So that's the kind of stuff that you want to think about. Now, if you want the least liability, right? You want to file the business income on your personal taxes, and you only want to claim the income from the business that is your share. So right, let's say you and a friend start a trucking company, right? And then maybe it's an LLC, right? So if the trucking company make 100,000, you and your partner both will, if you didn't claim any expenses, right? If you made 100,000 in profit, you're claiming 50% and they're claiming 50. And that's going to get filed on your personal income tax return, right? So it's different, right? You're not paying yourself payroll with a regular LLC, right? You're not doing payroll. Regular LLCs don't have payroll. So that's again the difference with a corporation or attaching that S corp to it. That's where that comes in because it's different entities. You get what I'm saying? So every single entity, a LLC, a corporation, a non-for-profit, a partnership, all of those are different entities and how they're structured, how you're going to manage and do your paperwork and your documentation, how you're going to pay yourself or your partners, or if you have employees working for you. You get what I'm saying? So all of that plays a role in what you're trying to do in your business. So you have to really have a real game plan and action plan and know and understand why you're setting this entity up the way it is. I feel like I'm coming across more of you all who just literally just setting your businesses up. You're not really looking at the detailedness of the entity structures. All right. TikTok, I gotta be not being able to see it or hear y'all. Cause I ain't never seen this before. I'm just gonna get off of here right now. I must not be on. Must not be. So we'll just focus on YouTube and Patreon community tonight, all right? So one of the other things that I wanted to say with that is when it comes to choosing the whole entity structure, right? Again, every single business is different. Every single one of us have our own idea. Every single one of us have our own plan and understanding as to what we have going on. So there is as I like to tell you guys, there is no one size fits all. You couldn't hear us on TikTok. Okay, yeah. I don't know what's going on with TikTok tonight. It's acting funny. Oh, I think I just realized what it is. I think I just realized what it is. All right, let me try again. I see. Thank you for letting me know. Tony. All right, we're going to try this one more time. For my Patreon family and community. Okay, let's try one more time. All right. I think I figured out what it was. I had my you know how you have your Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth speaker, all that stuff on there. I think that's what had happened. So, now we're back on every single thing. Okay. Okay. Cool, Tony. So thank you too for letting me know that, Tony. That's why I'm like, let me just log off and figure this out because this is not the norm, right? So if you got, let me just start over because we're getting back on TikTok. We're refreshing that. So if you guys can hear me on TikTok, you can see me, hear me clearly, then let me know. I think we fixed the issue over there. All right. Um, also, before we go ahead, part of the other reason that you guys need to know and understand this is tax time, right? So if you are in business, you want to learn and understand the different entities and the different structures too, because depending on what your business is set up as, your tax filing date is different. Okay, so now we good, Nikki. Thank you, Nikki. Um, your tax filing is different, right? So depending, let's just say if you are a corporation and an S corp, right? Um, Corporations and S corps, your taxes are due March 15th, right? Whereas if you are a sole proprietor or a 1099 gig worker and you're filing on a Schedule C tax form, or you're a single member LLC, right? You all file on a Schedule C tax form. So now your taxes are due April 18th. They extended it a couple of days extra this year, right? So that's the difference too, because sometimes you guys call me in March and you're like, hey, I'm an S corp at the end of March. And I'm like, well, baby, we were supposed to file your taxes 2 weeks ago, right? So again, these are the differences why you really want to know and understand when choosing a business entity on how to get started. So what I'm going over tonight with you is very brief. It's not um you know detail. Why? Because guess what, right? We actually do have a class and a workshop that's going more heavy into the corporation versus LLC versus S corp, right? But tonight I want to give you an overview for you to be able to understand the importance of knowing of knowing why you're choosing a business entity and why you're choosing that entity and structure. Many times you guys are set up as an LLC, and maybe sometimes that LLC alone by yourself is not really beneficial for you, especially if you're a six-figure earner. So like I said, my real estate agents, some of my truckers in the trucking industry, sometimes you guys are at that $100,000 mark and you're still being reported to either on a 1099, or sometimes you're being reported, having that income reported to a single member LLC. So at this particular time, when you start making, let's just say at least start making at 75,000 and you start getting closer to that six figure, now it's time for you to really start thinking about, okay, because I'm making more money, now I need to start looking at tax strategy. I need to start looking at tax savings. I need to start looking at maybe getting with a tax professional, a tax strategist like myself, a business consultant, somebody who can actually tell me and help me keep some of this money. Because the reason why a lot of you guys don't want to file taxes right now because you owe, right, is because, again, you're not preparing and you're not working with a professional who can actually help you prepare. So instead of being scared of tax time, you ready and motivated for tax time to do what you need to do. So if you have any particular questions right now, I'm going to review a few of them. Patreon community, I know you guys had a couple of comments or questions. So if you have a specific question regarding a specific entity right now, definitely for sure on my Patreon community, we'll answer your questions in more detail because you guys are the private paid community. All right. I am right now on YouTube and I am also on TikTok. You are the number one platform that I do get on here and do. So what I need you guys to do right now is to take this finger and to double tap the screen, okay? That is going to help me help you. I don't have any problems with getting on here and answering questions, but at the same time, you do have to be a part of the community. You do have to actually be active and, we on here to learn, right? We not on here to just watch and be a bystander all of the time. I know y'all are used to some other people pages and you just coming on and watching. But over here on this page and channel, I'm going to teach you how to work with me, right? So I'm teaching and educating right now. I'm giving millions of dollars worth of gems in the financial literacy space right now. If you are new here to the page and the channel, welcome. I'm also on YouTube. My name is Patrice L. Stewart. I am the realest tax and business strategist that you are ever going to meet. I have over 18 years of experience in the tax, accounting, banking, financial services industry. I have been completely self employed the last 10 years, but I have been a full time entrepreneur since 2008. So I've been an entrepreneur for over 14 years, but I have physically built businesses from the ground up, from ground zero, from an idea to a mustard seed. So now I have, two main companies, my two main companies that I would say I consider successful businesses making multiple six figures. Okay. So that's who I am. I get on this page and this platform, whether it's YouTube, Patreon, TikTok, and try to educate you guys regarding a bunch of different financial literacy topics, right? Tonight, we're talking about business, okay? So the biggest thing with the whole business to me is the entity structure, how you guys are set up, how you're actually managing and running these businesses. Once you get to start making some money, many of you guys do not learn and understand tax strategy, right? So like I said, if you're a real estate agent and you are earning six figures right now, if you're allowing the real estate company, I think you guys can't, because you're licensed and it's dealing with licenses, I don't think you guys can have the real estate firms pay your EIN, right? I think that's what one of my real estate people told me before, was you guys, it's kind of like the insurance. Because you're licensed under your name, your social, all of that stuff, it's different for you guys, and you can't formally have those companies paying those 1099s or issuing those 1099s to you. But with tax strategy and planning, with something like that, what I would do, we would still create you a separate consultant firm. So if you're a real estate agent, it's still beneficial to create you a separate consultant firm. So that way, any of the money and income that you do receive as a individual agent, as a 1099, you can funnel that money through your real estate consultant firm. Same way if you were like a trucking company. If you are a truck driver and you're getting a 1099 NEC reported to your personal name and social security number, and you start getting to that six figures, you guys know that's why y'all don't like tax time, because you owe on paying those taxes, right? Because you're a 1099. So they're not taking the taxes out ahead of time. They're paying you cash or however, making your direct deposits, and then you all are getting issued that 1099 at the end of the year, and you're filing your taxes on the 1099. Well, the same kind of way, you could start a trucking company, a separate LLC or corporate trucking company, and it's a way that you can have that money that's coming into you kind of flow through the business. But the whole thing is what you're running is a business. And some of you guys are looking at your job or position as a job and not a business, right? So these are some of the things that you want to do when you are, thinking like that, or when you start maneuvering and start making more money in your business. TikTok, y'all acting real funny on here tonight. I see. We real whacked with the likes right now with the information. So don't worry about it. We're also on Patreon, so I'll focus on Patreon and the YouTube people with their questions. Because y'all actually, so anybody that's on here, it's like 10 of y'all on YouTube following or watching me right now. Hello, can you hit that like button? Because when you're watching somebody and they're giving you content and information, it's called hit the like button. That's what you could do to help somebody who's trying to be on here and help you, because you don't get a lot of people who actually educate you, especially somebody like me with the experience that I have in the game that actually gets on and educates for free, right? So we have classes and workshops, but nobody's selling anything to you. If you want to join the class and the workshop and learn more information, you can. If not, then you do have the opportunity to get on here and listen. But at least if somebody is doing that, that's the least you could do, is hit the like button. I would say that. My soulful, soul-filled life. That's Mecca. Okay. I just need to sit down with you to restructure my business. I know because of the work that I do, I need to shift to a non-for-profit. Yeah, Mecca, because I think we talked about that. You were part of the lab community as well. And so I think we talked about that with you when you was on the live with Chuck, that you may need to consider being a non-for-profit, right? So that's cool. I mean, you got my contact and information. I'll post it again in the Patreon community for those of you guys that do want to book, excuse me, a formal business strategy session or appointment with me. Then that's cool. Hey, Anaya, when you're just starting off, you should get a LLC, then work your way up to a corporation once you're making six figures. So no, Anaya, that's not what I'm saying. So again, this is why I'm saying it's going to really depend on you and what your goal is. Like, I feel like some people just start a business, right? But some of you guys aren't really looking at the bigger picture and plan. Like for me, I always knew what type of business I was going to be, right? So just what like Steve Jobs, when Steve Jobs started, he knew that he was going to be this big company. He knew that he was going to get Apple and have all these different products and have shareholders and, want to have investors. Like if you know that you want to be on the Fortune 500, you know that you want to go on the stock market one day and you want to have investors and shareholders all over the world. That's not an LLC. You get what I'm saying? So now you need to maybe start looking more at a corporate structure because a corporation offers stuff like that. With a corporation, you can have shareholders. With a corporation, you have a board member. Like with an LLC, there is no board. You don't have a board of directors. You get what I'm saying? So like with a corporation, you got a CEO, a treasurer, a secretary. You get what I'm saying? You got those different board of directors. You don't have that with an LLC. So with an LLC, you have managing members. That's what you guys are called with an LLC. You're a member of an organization. You get what I'm saying? And so each of those members, you all have a certain percentage within the LLC. So like I said, if it's you and your friend and you and your friend are 50-50, you're 50% member owner, your friend is 50% member owner. So when it comes to doing the taxes and things like that, whatever income that LLC made, you all are splitting it 50-50, right? If it's three of you guys and it's 33.5%, if you made 100,000, you're claiming $33,500. They're claiming $33,500. You get what I'm saying? You're not claiming 100,000 in income because you're a member of an LLC. So it's a very big difference. And this is some of the stuff that you guys have to think about when you're setting these businesses up, because this is what I'm talking about. You get what I'm saying? So it doesn't really have anything to do with six figures. You could be making six figures whether you a LLC, whether you a non-for-profit, whether you a partnership, none of that. What I'm saying is in this aspect is once you are in business and you start making a certain level of money, let's just say once you reach that six figures, right? Let's just say once you hit 100,000. Now, as a business owner, it is your job and responsibilities to be saying, all right, I'm making 100,000. I'm in a whole nother other tax bracket right now. Now I need to be calling up Patrice and figuring out, hey, Patrice, what do I need to be doing right now? Because I just made six figures this year. How can I save more money? How can I maybe reinvest some of this money into my business? Can I hire my children? Are there different tax deductions and write-offs that I should be taking? You get what I'm saying? Like real serious business owners, people who are serious in business, this is how we talk. Because again, you're in business to make money. So I'm not mad at Trump for paying zero in taxes. I'm not mad at Amazon for paying zero in taxes because we're in business to make money. And so the point of this is I need you all to be more informed as calling yourself business owners, because this is what I'll tell you. It's a big difference from being a side hustler, from being a 1099 non-employee compensated gig worker. And it's a big difference from running a real, legitimate, legal LLC, corporation, and non-for-profit. And a lot of y'all love to lump yourself in with the rest of us legal, legitimate business owners who are handling business. And some of y'all are not. Right? Your mindset, your level where you at, you not making no money. Y'all saying you own a business and you ain't made $1. Baby, you're not in business. You get what I'm saying? It's that don't make sense that you guys have LLCs, but you haven't made any money all year. Like, you're not a business owner then. Stop calling yourself that. Right? That's really what I want more of you guys to just be educated properly. Stop lumping yourself in a category that you're not really there and ready for. And that's part of, to me, another reason why I get on here is because that whole PPP fiasco, it made a lot of people think that that's how business is, because you was able to go to this get this one time loan from the government that never happens, because any of those of us who were really legitimate business owners, we know in order to get a loan from the SBA, they ask you for everything but your damn blood, right? I have applied to the SBA prior years before the pandemic, me and several other clients, and it's been very hard to get business loans and funding with the SBA. So when Trump and them was in office and they opened the floodgates up, unfortunately, that brought in a lot of people who were side hustling and making you feel like you're a business. Now things is starting to happen. We getting back to reality. And I just need some of y'all to know and understand, like, where you at, your level, your real level and place. And it's, it's not what you think it is at all. So, TikTok, when y'all get them likes up, then I'll actually come on here and talk to somebody. Right now, you're just listening, because I'm not even at 10 to 20K. Like, we should be at way more than where we at, with almost 50 people coming in and out watching. So when y'all get them likes up, then I'll actually answer something over there. Other than that, I'm on Patreon and I'm on YouTube. Hey, Skins Nation. Happy New Year. It's been a while. Haven't seen you in a while. No, I haven't been on here. I have not been on YouTube. I have been kind of treating y'all like a little stepchild. I'm sorry. Business email. I'm going to see if I can type it down here in the chat for you. I'm going to see if I can. I don't know what happened. Oh, sorry. I hit the wrong thing. Okay, Anaya. So you said, okay, hold on. Okay, so Anaya, your last question was, when you're just starting off, you should get, okay, right. So I answered that for you, Anaya. Technically, you could be a corporation or an LLC making the six figures, right? When it comes to that tax designation, that's when that S Corp comes in. So with that S Corp, that's when it comes in with, as far as the tax designation. So with an LLC, remember, with a regular LLC, you can't run payroll. Well, you're not running payroll. The IRS, even if you try to pay yourself payroll, you're not taking that as a deduction, because a standard LLC, you guys don't get payroll, right? So how does an LLC get payroll? All you do is a tax designation. Now you say, okay, I want to become an S corporation. Because with being an S Corp, there are like 10 different things that you need to qualify for with being an S Corp. I'm going to go ahead and put this information up right now, because we do have a class February 1st. The class is $197. It's a 2-hour workshop. But I'm going heavy into the whole S Corp and everything. All right. So it's an actual a live Zoom class and workshop. Teaching you all the different entities and structures. We're going over corporations. We're going over LLC. We're going over non-for-profit. We're going over partnership. We're going over the S Corp designation in detail. All of the things that you need to qualify for it. And the biggest thing is when you're ready to pay yourself payroll, when you're ready to actually report W-2 income, all right, not regular payroll, W-2, because payroll is still 1099. You could 1099 somebody and pay somebody $1,000 a week, right? And then at the end of the year, you send them a 1099. That's not payroll, right? That's an independent contractor, right? So again, we want to understand these different terminology and lingo and stuff like that, because you want to know how to run and manage your business moving forward. You get what I'm saying? So now with an LLC, because you attach that S Corp to you, now you're able to issue payroll, right? Now you're able to have payroll for yourself, for any of your workers or your contractors who were originally contractors. Maybe you're going to switch some of them over to a W-2 payroll and salary. So now maybe you also want to be able to have some shareholder, I mean, not shareholder, because you're still not going to have shareholders with an LLC. But maybe now you still want to start having some annual meetings. Now, because of that S Corp designation, as an LLC, you are now able to take on some of the corporate uh, designations and deductions that corporations take, right? So that's the biggest thing. You can have a corporation or an LLC, and an S Corp can be attached to either one. So you don't have to change your business entity or designation or anything, but you may have to devise your business plan or something like that, right? Patreon, I'm answering Patreon people first because they're in the paid community. Again, if you guys want to get into the class or the workshop, Patreon, I'm going to put the information up for you all. Also, I'm going to just put it right here too. YouTube, I'll be there in one moment. We're going to go in order. Then I'll come on to TikTok and we'll do TikTok. See, TikTok, y'all. Babe, you ain't even hit 10K. You just hit 10K. I tell you. Some nights we get some of y'all lazy folk on. Them must not be my regulars. My regulars know how to do it. You say I have had these ideas and plans, but I haven't took no legal initial actions just yet. Yeah, I mean, that's okay, Anaya. That's another thing what we talk about, right? It's a lot of y'all on here dreaming and wishing, right? But this year, I would love more of you to actually do implementation. Take some legal action. Take some actual steps towards moving forward and doing these certain things that you want to do. Because we're not guaranteed. Life is a gift. Remember that. I know you think you're going to be here next year, 10 years, next month. But you can wake up. You may not wake up tomorrow, right? So we don't want to keep putting off what we could do today. Right? So, Anaya, that's part of me getting on here to kind of help encourage you to get to it. Let's roll. All right? All these ideas in your head are written down. They ain't doing nothing for the world. We need them out. She say, right, okay, but since I'm building from the ground up, I can just have the basic for corporation and just add as time goes on. Yes. And that's the biggest thing that I'm getting a point, Anaya, is yes. You will be building up over time. And sometimes you'll be restructuring things. Sometimes you'll be doing, I've been in business 14 years. I'm restructuring my whole business, right? So on my company site, it says I've been in business for, however, I've been on paper for, I think, 13 years. Now I'm setting up new entities, new companies, new things, new this, right? Everything now that I'm making more money, I'm learning as I've been teaching you guys in the Wealth Challenge. Now that we start making more money, guess what? We need a trust, right? Then we may need a holding company. Then we may need the LLC, the holding company that's going to manage the different LLCs. So as you start growing, that's why it's always up, right? As you start leveling up in life, you want to be able to make sure that you are able to, also look at things. Sometimes you got to restructure your business. Sometimes you got to look at how things are set up, right? How you're spending money, how, all of this is a part of business, right? This is how business works. So yes, you can start off with an LLC or a corporation, whatever you decide that works best for you and what it is that you need. And then as you start making money in the business, you'll start doing these different things, right? Will you have payment plans for the February Zoom class, and will there be replays? So I didn't think about offering the payment plan for Sheila for the February Zoom class. I'm going to actually do that because I can't offer payment plans. So I am going to offer payment plans for that. I'll actually have my assistant set that up now while I'm on here. So you guys could do the payment arrangement. I didn't think about the payment arrangement for the $197, but we can do something like that, like I did with the 5-day wealth challenge. We charge $60. So when I do payment arrangements, you pay a little more because I'm waiting on my money. I'm waiting to collect my money over some months for you. So I probably do that same kind of offer. You could do $60 for the, for 3 months or 4 months or something like that. So thank you, Sheila, for asking for that, because I can't make that an offer for you all. And then for replays, yes, I'm actually going to give you 60 whole days for this one. So normally I give you maybe 7 days of a replay, maybe 14 days. You may get 30 days depending. But because this is a business entity structure, it's tax time. Some of you guys, depending on how you're set up, this video, if you don't have a tax person or your tax person hasn't talked to you about some of this stuff, you could be like, hey, I took this course with Patrice and she told me woo 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 woo. You never share this stuff with me, right? So so I'm actually gonna give you guys 60 days to watch the replay of this workshop here. Do you have an operating agreement template? I do, but I really don't do the templates because, again, every business is different. So I have access to some, but do I sell them? No. Because, again, your business is going to be completely different than mine, whether it's a LLC, corporation. So, I mean, we have them, but, again, everybody's kind of design out of it is going to be different. If it's something that you may just want to see, like an example of DeAndre, I could possibly post something like that for you guys in Patreon. I could possibly post like an example of a PDF template so that way you could see it. But as far as like giving you one to take on your own and do, I don't really like to do those because, like I said, all of y'all are different. Thank you, West Coast Operations, for my tip. Appreciate that. Let's see. I'm on YouTube now answering questions real quick. Tony says, as an LLC or sole proprietor starting off, are there any tax deductions that you can write off? Yes, Tony. It's a lot of tax deductions that you could write off. A ton of them. A ton of them. Yeah. So yes, you do have tax deductions that you could write off. There are a ton of them. But you guys are limited to what you can write off. I'm just going to say that. So yes, you could write off tax deductions on that Schedule C, but there are limits on that Schedule C. The benefit of that LLC and that corporation when you're filing on a 1120 tax form, right? So when you're filing a corporation or S corp, you're filing on an 1120 tax form. Normally, if you're filing as a partnership or a partner of an LLC, then you're filing on a form 1065. So those are two different corporate tax forms. But the most popular corporate tax form is the 1120. Now, when you filing on that 1120, baby, whoo, Lord, you got, it ain't no limits on that sucker, all right? It ain't no limits, all right? It's a big difference. So that's, again, why we talk about the different structures. You want to know why your most major conglomerates are corporations and S-corps? That's why. All right, way better tax advantages and loopholes, especially the bigger you get. So the bigger you get, the way more tax advantages and loopholes you get. All right. TikTok, y'all got to do better. I'm gonna start answering a couple of questions on here, but y'all are horrible today with the likes. I'm gonna just say that. So again, when you're on here, I know you listening, but it's more than enough of y'all to be double tapping that screen. I should have easily been at 20, 30K likes with the shit that I just popped out here with this little bit of information that I just gave you, right? Because again, I am the realest tax and business strategist that you're ever going to meet. You rarely get financial services people on here talking to you for free, right? Yes, I got a class, but I'm still giving you so much value sitting here. So if you're new here to the TikTok page and channel, we are big on community. And community, we help each other. So as I'm talking to you and helping you, and you learning and listening, all you doing is hitting that double tap. That's it. It ain't hard. It's not hard at all. So I will answer one or two questions, and then I'm going back to Patreon, my paid community. Again, if you are coming in on a live, you miss a live, you will not have access to me like this come 2023. I'm really on here because it's tax time. but I'm focused on community all 2023. So we have a couple of communities. The biggest one that we have transitioned over from TikTok to is Patreon. Okay, Patreon, you can click the link in my bio. You can access Patreon. Patreon, we got 3 different membership levels. You got $10, you got $20, and you have $35 a month. The $35 a month is like this. We're on live. We have family members sitting here in the Patreon. They're asking me questions. We're talking, answering Q&A. Live Q&A is like this, right? Then you get access to the replays. I post other content in the Patreon that I don't post on any other platform. So I want you guys to understand, yes, I do this, but I'm not doing this on these free platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. We're getting into community. It's just a part of it. When people pay, they pay attention. That's what Chuck always say. When people pay, they pay attention, and that's real. I've been on the internet over 10 years talking and teaching, and majority of y'all is never gonna do shit. So I just hate to say it that way, but that's the honest to God truth. This is why I talk to y'all like this. 95% of America, when you take classes and courses, you don't even do shit with the information. How many of y'all took my 5-day wealth challenge and actually utilizing the strategies that we gave you or doing something with that information? I'll wait. Right. So, hey, it's time for implementation this year. Sodium of Earth, you say overview. You really caught me in the beginning. I had just started. Hey, Mr. Erratic, Mr. Tannis. I'm just not seeing your comment on YouTube. I'm just not seeing your comment on YouTube. I know, Chuck, we got to get back on the phone, too, and do our weekly check-ins. But like Chuck say, when you pay attention, baby. This is why we going into community. This is why we focused on community in 2023. For those of you all that are in the lab, Chuck did a live with you last week. Chuck is on again next week, so don't miss it. Lab community, make sure that you go back and you watching the replays. I'm subscribed to the thing that's $20 a month, but I don't know how to use it. Okay, so Mr. Tannis, what I need you to do is every time y'all get on here and say y'all don't know how to use it, I don't like that. So because you're on here, I want you to see your family right now, because you got family members that's over here in the community. All right. So we do have a community for you. Let me take this off. So even for YouTube. So this is where we're at right now. Let's flip the screen. Flip camera. Okay. So there's the Patreon community. So, right, you can see they're in there. Oh, they're in there, right? And they're asking questions, right? It's a replay. So for you, Mr. Tannis, if you are a member and you cannot, let me show you how to get in. One, what you'll need to do is you'll need to download the app off of the internet. So it's a Patreon app, and it looks like this. YouTube, I'm pause you real quick. Okay, once you do that and you download the app, this is the community. So we're all in here, and you'll click here. So every time I'm doing a live in session, I put class in session starting today, right? Then there's the link. Then you'll see a link to click on to join the live, all right? But then also on here, here's other sessions. So on Sunday, we did a class in session, right? We went over Navy Federal on Sunday. So on Sunday, we did class in session. We talked about Navy Federal. That was a 2.5-hour live, right? So if you missed that, guess what? You can watch the replay here in Patreon. All you got to do is click on it, and it'll take you to the video to watch the replay. And so anytime that I have a class in session, the replay is available in Patreon. So in order for you to get access to the replay and you click that link, that's what you're paying the $35 a month for, right? Pretty much. In Patreon, I also gave you guys a grant list for this month, right? And there's other posts and stuff that I have in there that aren't on any other platform. So Patreon, I really, that's where you go. All right. So, and then also check your email, because I email every single one of you all, letting you know that. Okay. So if you're on TikTok right now, you go to my homepage, you click the link in my bio, it's going to take you here, right? You can join the workshop there. You could join the LLC workshop. You could join the Patreon community. You could book an appointment with me. You could work with me. You could get in the lab, and you can look at my business school. And then you also can join the email list, right? It's a couple of things that you could do here. But that link in my bio, it gives you all the access that you need to be able to get to work with me, okay? So, Mr. Tannis, hopefully you can do that, and you should be okay. So I know I had to go through and send emails to some of y'all, because I'm like, why are y'all not answering? I'm in here posting and y'all are not answering. Okay. So right. So like, again, I get a lot of that. Like, I missed your live. I just came in. That's how you're able to watch the replay. It's a $35 a month investment, right? I mean, and like I said, every time I get on here and talk, I'm teaching and educating on something. So, all right. DeAndre, I'm sorry. The state don't require it, but SBA want me to submit one. An operating agreement. Okay, DeAndre, send me a message on Patreon and just remind me, because I'm just kind of winging it tonight. I'm not making no notes or nothing. So just maybe send me a message on Patreon to remind me to upload a template, an example template of an operating agreement for you all there. See, DeAndre, this is why I be messing with you. He say, I'm at bingo and I'm still listening. Come on. Tap on in. Class in session. That's why I mess with you, DeAndre. That's why I mess with you. Okay. Can you show it again? I was on YouTube. Really, Mr. Tannis? All right, hold on. Okay. So, in a nutshell, okay, hold on real quick. Let me bring I can't hold two phones at once, so that's why I didn't show YouTubers. But this is how it looks. So with YouTube, this is the private Patreon community. This is how it kind of looks. So once you actually are in it, you guys can message me. As you can see over there, it's a little messages link. I get all these notifications when y'all get to commenting on some of the posts and stuff, right? But this is pretty much how the community looks. So when you log in, these are all of the different posts. I make several different posts for you guys. Like I said, we did that class in session on Sunday. If you notice, you can click on it. You'll be able to either click on the picture. If you can't click the picture, then it's a link. But we try to put the link in the picture. But if we don't do it in the picture, then the link is in the comments. So that way you're able to watch the replay. See? I put on here, I was on here for 2 hours and 45 minutes. You can go in and watch the live. And then also on Patreon, I give you guys an extra live that I don't do with everybody else. Like, we're going to get off of TikTok and we're going to get off of YouTube. And I'm going to finish this particular live on Patreon. So we're on Patreon right now. And see, these are the people that are in the community. And then they're on here answering questions. And they're getting their questions answered because they're a part of the paid community. Right? So, again, I'm not busting you over the head. It's $35 for the whole month to access this. The $10 a month membership is if you only want to watch replay. So if you miss a live and you just want to go back and watch replay content, then that's what the $10 a month membership is. But it's different membership levels. You can look at them and see. And again, if you're on TikTok, you'll go here from the TikTok page, click the link in the bio, and then this is how the link looks. So this is my Linktree page. You could connect with me on other social media platforms. If you wanted to get into the LLC versus S Corp Corporation workshop, again, that's February 1st. We start at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's a 2-hour workshop live on Zoom. It's not a pre-recorded workshop. I don't do a bunch of pre-recorded stuff like y'all get from a lot of these fake gurus out here. All of my stuff is 99% is live, right? And then if you needed to work with me, get in the lab. That's the business community. Okay. So hopefully, Mr. Tannis, you saw it that time. Hopefully you saw it that time. Because we're going to get back to this kind of Q&A. I want to get off of here. Okay, we've been on here almost an hour, yeah. So I'm getting ready to get off of the other platforms, and then we will focus on Patreon. So I'm going to answer a couple more questions, and then we getting off of here, and we just going to be on Patreon the next 20 minutes, and then I'll finish answering the rest of you guys on Patreon. When you say an all-access community, DeAndre, like what? What other kind of access you want? Because actually, you guys get a little more access to me on Patreon than you do, like than anything else. Besides the lab. But the lab we meet like twice a month on there. You get a lot more access to me here. Yeah, so even the lab right now, I'm getting ready to switch the lab over to another platform. So we'll be more interactive, kind of like this. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Mighty Networks, but I'm getting ready to switch the lab over to Mighty Networks. So the lab is kind of the all access community, right? It's the monthly membership program starts at $47, but the lab is where I'm hosting the Solo to Squad course, right? So I'm putting out like 2 or 3 courses this year. One is like 500, one is like 1500, and then the lab is my high ticket course where we're teaching you and showing you for 12 weeks how to grow and scale your business from solo to squad. So if you want to learn marketing, you want to learn funnels, you want to learn sales, you want to learn taxes, you want to learn strategy, you want to learn business growth, all of that, that's the solo to squad. But all of that is still pumped out through the lab, if you get what I'm saying. So the lab is life and business with Patrice, right? So that's the main hub. So that's the best that I could say. And then this is the other part. So I'm only doing those 2 communities, the lab and this, the Patreon, right? Moving forward as far as like accessing me. Because like I said, I'm moving more away from this whole internet thing. It's just been a lot these last couple of years with my business and the warfare that we have dealt with, especially since that whole PPP crap came out. Like that's what really made me say, let me start getting on and educating, because we had too many side hustlers thinking they was entrepreneurs and was mad about the information that I was putting out. But everything I told y'all was legit, right? Everybody under investigation right now, right? They have a whole federal Biden announced the whole thing on TV. You know what I'm saying? When your president get to talking about it, obviously it was real. Like, big mad. Like, big mad, right? So it's like, baby, all I'm doing is sharing valuable information. So if you get mad off of that, then oh well, stay mad, right? But that's why I said, that's why we're getting more into community, because I have more control over my voice and my platform with community. If Facebook want to shut me down, YouTube want to shut me down, TikTok want to shut me down, I still have my own private communities that we could still get together and you could still work with me. Because that's been the problem. I've been having my pages shut down, and I'm just tired of that. So if it do go out one day and they treat me like, you can't even say his name really on the internet no more, like Farrah Khan, right? If they treat me like him and want to block me off the internet one day, or like they did Kanye, then hey, now we got a place to go. Y'all know where to find me at, right? So the lab and Patreon, them the 2 communities. Okay, YouTube, you're welcome. Great. Hey, I don't know if you answer my question, but I'm back. I got your picture on, but I have no idea. Okay. Mr. Tannis, did you get the info you needed? Tony, I'm about to fire my tax preparer because I've been with him for over 10 years and I learned, you say, and learn more from you on your replays and lives within this last week. By the way, I have the $10 membership. Tony, I saw you join last night. Welcome to the community. Thank you. So you got to see that example, Tony, that I showed with the people in Patreon. So if you wanted to get off YouTube and come on over to Patreon, well, no, you can't because you're watching the replay. You'll be able to watch the replay. So as soon as it's done tonight, then I'll add on the the $10 membership level to be able to watch the replays. But if at any point you ever want to upgrade, girl, come on over. All right, DeAndre, cool. Yeah, you good. I feel like this is a good spot for you. Especially until, because I'm not going to really be doing the courses until like May. So, right now this is a great location for you. All right, now TikTok, if you guys have anything. If I start making that, you're going to be my best friend. Not if, when you start making it. When you believe, so it's a big difference. So not if you make your 100K, when you make your first 100K. So she said, well, Dan, what's the YouTube? Everything, my name is the same on all platforms. So I'm Patrice L. Stewart on any and every platform. So I'm Patrice L. Stewart on YouTube, Patrice L. Stewart on TikTok, Patrice L. Stewart on Facebook, but TikTok is my #1 platform. I get on here daily, all right? YouTube, I've been kind of treating them like a stepchild. I have not been on YouTube in a long time. I haven't been on YouTube in months, probably. Definitely since December. And since before December, I hadn't been on probably since November. I have been a little funny acting with YouTube. I'm sorry. It's not on purpose. It's just I kind of like to just get on one platform and not have to do all of these different platforms. Okay. So if you are going to follow me, then YouTube and TikTok are the main ones. Love your live. Keep it going. Married to the parlay. Thank you. False quarterly return under S Corp. Married, I get what you're saying, honey, but at the same time, I've been on here for 2 years. So my audience who follows me knows what I'm talking about in implementation. And audiences go off of trust of your value of what information you know. So that's how that works. So thank you for your comments and, whatever your opinions are, because that's just all they are, is an opinion. So what's the difference between LLC and an S Corp? I'm new here. Biggest thing, I hope you heard that, because I think I haven't really answered any of y'all questions with that. So, and I don't know where she came in with that, with saying false quarterly returns under S Corps. So, again, everybody is not the same. So depending on the setup, a S Corp is, again, the tax designation. So every single S Corp does not file quarterly returns depending on what they are. So if it's an LLC, that's an S Corp. It's a corporation that has an S Corp designation and attachment. It's all depending on the business industry, actually. So it's not an automatic quarterly return under an S Corp. So actually that's false for what you just stated and put down there. So again, we love to have people on here. I don't know if you a tax professional or not, but if you not, then maybe you should quit talking, because I know what I'm doing over here. Maybe you don't. 365 promo. Thank you. We will be searching for you. All right. Okay. And then Big Zo Daddy, Mr. Tannis, you got it. Perfect. Okay. All right, looks like I answered everybody's question. We good to go. And then I also just want to say that too, because sometimes I do get people on here who get to making comments like that false, this is this and this is that. If you are not a tax expert, if you are not filing taxes, if you are not in the industry, you're not reading laws, publication, please shut the fuck up talking. Because you don't know what you're talking about. Because sometimes y'all like to talk and say stuff that relates to you. That may be your business that has to file quarterly taxes. Every business is not filing quarterly taxes. I'm an S Corp. I don't file quarterly taxes because I'm in a servicing based business. I am a tax and business strategist, right? To file quarterly taxes most of the time, people who are in a retail kind of business, like if you are a boutique or a store and you have to charge sales tax. Most of you, if you're in a business or industry where you are providing a product and you have to charge tax on that product, you all usually have to file monthly or quarterly taxes. Okay, sometimes it's sales tax, sometimes it's payroll taxes, sometimes it's taxes on your actual business. Okay, and this is the reason, again, why I get on here and educate. Being an expert in my industry with over 18 years of experience in this, I actually read the tax laws and know and understand the tax laws and implementation, okay? So please don't get on here talking and running your mouth when you really don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Now, a lot of y'all like to lump in what your individual business is doing. But as a boutique owner, yes, you may have to pay monthly or quarterly taxes. But guess what? I'm a service business. Service-based businesses, we don't pay taxes. I don't pay sales tax. You get what I'm saying? Because me providing this service of consulting to you and talking to you, I'm the business. I'm the business. They always talking, you know what I'm saying? Chuck, I swear, it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, always running their mouth and then don't know shit. This is what I be talking about. Like, seriously. Yes, they always want to shut down because I do be telling the truth. But some people just love to hear they self-talk. TikTok people are really like that. I don't get that really on the other platforms. I really get that the most on TikTok. And that's part of the reason why. Because everybody think they know something. But that's what we have to understand. Business entities, business industries are different. I'm a service-based business in tax and business consulting, right? If you're in a trucking business, you're not going to have the same taxes as me. You're not going to have the same write-offs as me. Your business structure is not going to be the same as mine because you're in a completely different industry. Same way for real estate. Everybody get mad about Donald Trump, right? Well, learn this. Donald Trump had over 500 S corporations on his tax return. Donald Trump had over 500, not one, not 5 companies, not 100 companies. He had over 500 S corporation tax forms included in that tax document. You get what I'm saying? He also owns multiple real estate. So when you're in the real estate industry, guess what? You got something else that no other industry has a big, huge advantage of, which is depreciation. Because when you are buying property and you are buying building and also when you're dealing with equipment, right? So again, construction, those big contract companies, that's equipment. That equipment, if they built 10 skyscrapers with that equipment, guess what? That equipment is worn down. That equipment has depreciated in value because it's not the same equipment that it was with the first 10 with the first skyscraper, right? Now it's been used on 10 different skyscrapers. So that company gets to depreciate that business and that machinery every single year, right? I had a client who had about a $400,000 or $500,000 real estate property. Every year we were depreciating $36,000. That's a tax deduction. So imagine if off of a $400,000 to $500,000 property, that client is taking a $36,000 tax deduction with depreciation by itself. That's not including no other expense. That's not including no other write-off. That's just off depreciation. You get what I'm saying? So imagine if Donald Trump is owning millions of billions of dollars in real estate and he depreciating all of these different businesses, then y'all wondering why he pays $750 in taxes. Bam. Big difference. Big difference, baby. So every single thing is different. This is why I tell y'all that no business is the same. No business is the same. There is not a one size fit all when it comes to business, strategy, structure, taxes. There's no one tax return that has the exact same dollar amounts in it. You get what I'm saying? So y'all got to understand that when you know better, you do better. When you learn and shut the fuck up and listen, right? Now you got any questions? Because we're getting ready to get off of here and get on over to finish on Patreon. Last minute questions. Chuck, let's talk tomorrow. When I get off, I'm pretty open in the day, Chuck. So I'll text you tonight. But let's talk tomorrow. Let's at least jump on the phone for 20, 30 minutes to do a recap, of the week and check in with each other because we haven't checked in. All right. So again, what we are getting ready to do is I will put this information up here as I'm signing off of here. Again, if you would like to join the S Corp LLC workshop, you would like to learn more information on entity structures and actually understand this stuff. The class is $197. As Sheila asked, I'm going to go ahead and put a payment arrangement option on there. So you could probably make 3 payments of like $70 or something like that, 3 payments of $60 or something like that. And then you can still get access to the class. All right. We are going to finish up on Patreon. I'm going to show Patreon. I'm going to share my screen with y'all. I want to show you something on the IRS website. Again, that's the benefit of being in community. You'll get to watch the replay. And then I'm also going to do another additional 10 to 15 minutes on Patreon and share my screen with them. So again, if any of you guys are in Patreon, download the app. Tap on in, get on over, and I will see the rest of you guys on another day. The class is right there, Pat, February 1st. That's a Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. If you click the link in the bio or you type that link in, all of the information is in there, okay? So if you click the link in the bio, all of the information is there. Remember, I'm a real legitimate business owner. So when I give you guys stuff, guess what? Right? You have a actual site that you're going to see and look at, right? So this is the funnel for it. When you click that link, this is the link. It gives you all of the information of what we're going over and it breaks it down, right? We're going over limited liability, S Corp, corporation, adding a S Corp status, a comparison chart. You get 60 days replay, right? And then you're going to actually go to it and sign up. You get to know a little bit about me, who I am, some frequently asked questions, and a little bit of feedback, right? But every single thing that I do, there is a place for you to be able to go and read about it. I'm not just making these classes up off the top of my head, right? Again, I'm a legitimate, real business owner. So this is how we do business, okay? And then this is how it looks like in a course format. So remember, for those of you guys that I share with, this is the lab community. So those of you guys that are in the lab, I actually did a course last year for you. And it's called S Corp versus LLC, right? So we go over it, it breaks it down in different structures. And so this is how we will be in the live workshop. And then after the replay is different, different things. So this is kind of an example of how it looks when you're in a course or a class with me. Get on my nerve. I'm a little antsy with that, but we ain't gonna let that pet throw me out. A single member LLC ownership. So if you are a single member on here, you have full control over your company, right? You are a legal entity. It's its own legal separate entity, independent from you. If you are a single member of, yeah.
I'm sorry. Is this 40,000 in
See, so that's somebody in the class that's answering questions. When I say that, but this is just how some of the stuff looks when it comes to some of the stuff that I put out. So again, I just wanted to show you guys because again, I'm very big with or corporation because it can be proof. If it's anything about me I love is proof. Right? Receipts, as I like to say. So tap on in. You're welcome, Kimberly. Thank you. Kurt ask you, you're welcome. Sassy, you're welcome. Miss Sphinx, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, I'm out. Tap on in, Patreon. We over in the community. All right, and YouTube, I'm out. We getting ready to finish up in the Patreon community. I think I was able to put the link. If not, if for some reason, I don't know why I can't comment on live when I'm on my phone with y'all. If somebody can type in the link in the chat, in the comments for me, that'll be great. Because it's plstewart.club/Patreon. Or I'll come back in after the live and enter it in. Yeah, I'll just do that. I'll just come back on and enter the live. And again, who is that they gave me? West Coast Operations. Thank you for your $10 tip and donation. Appreciate you. Appreciate you so much for that. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm out. I'm getting ready to get on Patreon. So we are out.